Okay, from the gravel roads of southern Utah. Woohoo! Welcome to the GCN Show.
Hello, and welcome to the GCN Show.
Coming up this week, it's not all rosy, but it's pretty darn good. Here are 6 things that we are loving in the world of cycling right now.
We've also got some tidbits from the racing world, some hot new tech we really want, and Wout van Aert with a giant dog.
Really?
Yeah. This week in the world of cycling, we learned that if you're good enough, you don't even need to look where you're going.
No, that's right. Marlon Russa here, taking a detour at the World Tour race Ghent-Wevelgem at the weekend. But so far ahead was she that she had plenty of time to correct her mistake and still take a glorious solo win regardless.
I want to shout a little croissant at the end of the road. Anyway, we also learned that it is definitely better to watch live bike racing on GCN Plus rather than in real life.
Oh, I tell you what, that put a dampener on the stag do that Dan Lloyd organised, didn't it?
Is that Dan?
It would be great if it was, wouldn't it? But no, I don't think so. Right, a few weeks ago, we had a little bit of a moan about the aspects of cycling that are kind of grinding our gears a little bit. But honestly, there weren't really that many. And having just witnessed some unprecedentedly incredible bike racing, if I'm allowed to say that, we actually thought it'd be far more appropriate to tell you what the best things in cycling are at the moment, from our opinion, anyway.
Number 1, bike racing. Even if you're not fussed about watching racing, let me tell you, we are all in the middle of an incredible area where on both men's and women's sides, riders that won the Tour de France are mixing up with the best classic riders week in, week out.
That's right. Annemiek van Vleuten, for example, winner of the Women's Giro and Tour de France last year, plus the World Championships and a gazillion others, lines up this weekend at the Tour of Flanders, as does, on the men's side of things, 2-time Tour de France champ Tadej Pogačar, alongside the classics giants of Van der Poel and Van Aert.
This hasn't happened for really well over 30 years. I can't tell you how cool it is to watch. It is amazing.
It is amazing. Right, so number 1, racing. Number 2, I'm loving, Conor, that road bikes have evolved to a place now where not only are they faster and more efficient than ever, they are also more versatile.
How do you mean that, sorry?
Okay, right. I'm glad you asked that. Take, for example, the Canyon Ultimate, okay? Cracking all-round road bike, a bike that gets raced in Grand Tours, but it also got used to win the Gravel World Championships.
Which weren't very gravelly.
No, granted, but they were gravelly enough to be relevant to most cyclists, right? And whilst it's not a gravel bike, it illustrates the point that it's unbelievably versatile. It shows that gear ranges on road bikes are broad enough, that tyre clearance is wide enough, and that everything is strong enough, right? So whilst you can buy a bike that excels in a specific niche like gnarly gravel or super duper aero, the fact is that most road bikes / bikes are just so capable. And a lot of it, it's down to disc brakes.
Oof, right, okay, on that note, number 3. Exploring is now legit. I'm loving the fact that while racing is better than ever and being able to watch racing is better than ever, more people are riding bikes for totally different reasons, like transport, but also just getting out there and exploring.
Yeah, that is true, actually. And while people have always explored, right, they've always been doing this, it is gaining in popularity now, isn't it? It's getting more exposure too, so it's really snowballing. And I think the reason it's a good thing is it makes cycling so accessible. It's like the least elitist part of the sport, isn't it? And being able to get off-road is part of that as well. So I don't want to say gravel bikes, but gravel bikes.
Number 4, handlebar bags.
No.
What?
No, you can't have handlebar bags. They are not one of the top 6 things that we're loving right now.
I am. And I think it shows that cycling is more than just going fast. It's about smelling the roses.
Okay, I agree that cycling is about more than go fast than it's about smelling the roses. But the trouble with handlebar bags, mate, is they encourage people to carry excess crap with them. Cycling is about getting away from crap. It's about having what you need and leaving everything else behind. I suspect you don't even know half of what is in your handlebar bag, and the other, I don't know, at least a quarter of it has probably gone mouldy.
Yeah, I do have to do a biannual clear out every now and again.
I bet you do. What even is in there?
Anyway, some people like to carry stuff with them.
Well, they do. What is in there? Go on.
What's in there? Well, I have the odd emergency snack.
Okay.
So I have like a big old croissant wrapped up in tinfoil at the bottom.
Which is mouldy. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
but you
okay.
never know. It's a cheap one, so it'll probably last. Spare clothes, spare bit of cash,
Yeah.
tools, more food than the food I bring for the day, and then a bit more food just in case. Maybe a blanket if I want to sit down at the side of the road. Casual clothes if I want to just get changed, go somewhere, go a bit shopping. Maybe some swimwear.
It sounds like something that Harry Potter would have. You know, like in Harry Potter, they have these bags that are just bottomless, and there's like a whole different world in there.
I'll just stuff it in and zip it up and tie it to the bike.
All right. Anyway,
But
4.5 handlebar bags.
yeah, I mean, some people like to carry stuff with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at all the people who go hiking, giant rucksacks, tents, things like that. Even though they never stray further than a mile from a tea shop.
Yeah, all right, you do see a lot of those people. And yeah, it's good that cycling caters for people who like accessorising as well.
I like accessorising.
Bring on 2023, that's what we love. Now, another one that I am loving, okay, going back to racing a little bit, but I love how riders are crossing disciplines, okay? We've talked about this before, but it's happening more and more. And now I think we're right in the golden age. Wout van Aert, Mathieu van der Poel going almost seamlessly for cyclocross to road. Sheeran van Anrooy and Jos van Empel as well, doing exactly the same with the women's side of things. And I cannot wait to see how many are going to be lining up at the first mountain bike World Cups of the season that are in May, okay? And you can watch on GCN+. Tom Pidcock, Van der Poel, Sagan, Sam Gaze, all on the guys' side of things. It's pretty good.
Lastly then, I'm loving how cycling looks so different. We celebrated when cycling went all moody and cool and monochrome because we felt less like idiots wearing Lycra, but now everything's gone the other way.
Yeah, it has actually, hasn't it? It's refreshing, bright colours, crazy patterns, bling bikes. It kind of feels like it's appealing to a new audience, doesn't it? You know, we've kind of gone out of that, like, I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? The old Rafa glory through suffering thing, which kind of appeals to a fairly niche spectrum of people, I would have said. But if you try and make something fun.
Exactly, yeah, sometimes it's nice just to have a bit of fun. Feel like, I feel like I'm cool, but I don't know if I am cool. And then enjoy just a bit of a spin on the bike.
The important thing is feeling like you're cool.
That is it. Form is feeling.
Is it? Yeah, feeling like you're cool. I think that, that's what we all want at the end of the day.
Yeah, but then that makes you feel faster.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Feel good, feel faster.
Yeah.
That's my motto.
Never sacrifice style for speed.
No.
Never. Well, you can say that
Except
now.
if you got a bar bag.
Well, yeah, but that's neither fast nor cool, is it? So you've sacrificed both with a handlebar bag, technically. Anyway, we digress. We've got to say, actually, just because some things are amazing right now, it of course doesn't mean that everything in cycling is amazing right now. As we said a few weeks ago, bikes and equipment are getting more and more expensive, yet brands are going out of business at the same time. And whilst pro racing is so hot right now, local racing is really struggling. Certainly here in the UK, the kind of top end of the scene's not doing super well, is it, at the moment? So by no means are we saying that everything is amazing, but this is a pretty cool era. So those are the things that we're loving right now. Let us know in the comment section what you are loving about cycling right now. We'd love to know, actually. Yeah, for sure, we'd like to know. And there's also great ammunition for potential GCN videos moving forward. So if there's anything that you're into that we're not covering, let us know.
Okie dokie, it is time for hack/Bodge.
You started that so laid back. I kind of thought you were about to tell me about your lunch or something.
I thought I'd put my own stamp on it.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Yeah, I like it. Right, first up, we got this one from Lauren Go. DIY disc rotor cover. Improvised disc rotor cover while cleaning my cassette, which looks like a Ziploc bag, I'd say.
I think I'd say it's a hack, but it depends how well it stands up to a bit of pressure washing action. Would it blow away?
I wouldn't pressure wash directly down there anyway, Connor, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah,
but I'll leave that up to you.
I never do that.
No, of course you don't. I mean, I've said this before, but I don't quite understand this paranoia about disc rotors and contamination. You've got to be fairly, generous with your lubes and stuff to screw up a rotor, don't you think?
It's just the odd speck. It's just if you spray a bit of it on, it does squeal, I think. So it's just avoiding that as best you can.
I don't know. I'm going to do an experiment. I'm literally going to do an experiment about what happens.
Squeakiest disc brakes possible.
No, just because maybe it'd be a GCN tech feature. Skeptical Simon tries to trash disc rotors.
Well, if you are trying to avoid trashing disc rotors, I think this is still a bit of a hack.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
76% of you lot say that's a hack. I'm going to be with the minority. I'm just going to say, like, I just don't see the point. Bodge.
Controversial, okay. Yeah. Moving on. This was sent in by Dantle97, makeshift rear light. Works in a bike shop, put my bike in the stand, did some tinkering, forgot to put my rear light back on my seat post before setting off home. Halfway back I realised I was missing my rear light, but like I had a spare button front light on my handlebars, and I'm in Manchester, found some debris on the road, and made it a red light. Managed to get him home safely.
Okay, you know what, right? I was looking at that as you were reading the fairly lengthy story, thinking, that is an absolute dog's dinner. What on earth is going on? But that's actually quite ingenious. For a roadside hack, I think that's got to be a hack, don't you think?
That is pretty much as good a hack as you can get.
Yeah, like, you know, of course you took it off as soon as you got home and, you know, discreetly put the random bit of reflector in the bin. But no, I think that's a good hack, that.
Yeah, if you have a spare button light to handy.
Well, yeah, always have a spare light knocking around in your bag. 44% of you lot said that was a hack, though. Yeah. So clearly different kind of methods of judgment going on. Maybe it's because it was an elastic band and not zip ties that you all blooming love. Anyway, right, okay. Steve T, modified work stand top tube cradle. Okay, I find clamping mine and my wife's bikes by the seat post into the work stand to be awkward. Yeah, it kind of is sometimes. And sometimes difficult to do with proper balance of the bike. Of course, clamping onto the top tube is forbidden. The remedy, I took an unused set of drop bars, wrapped them in an old data tube, and then clamped them in the work stand to create a top tube cradle. Actually, that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It does look good. I mean, it looks like it'll hold it pretty solidly.
Well, yeah, because that one end of the drops is wedged quite neatly in the head tube area, isn't it? I like that.
Mine might struggle because my bike's so big. I don't know if it would fit as snugly.
It's true.
I'd have to get some very wide bars.
Get some mountain bike handlebars, mate. Yeah, that obviously wouldn't work. No, I like that. I'd say that's a hack from me.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good hack. Yeah, nice safe one. It'd be a bit annoying when you're doing stuff down at your chains. It would probably wiggle a bit, I think. You can get a bit of a wiggle on.
Yeah, good point.
Might be a bit annoying, but I think overall I'd go hack.
Yeah.
And the audience agrees.
Yeah, they do. 88% of you lot say that's a hack. So well done, Steve T. And then we got this one, the last one from J Lobo, homemade lock holster. I can't take credit for the idea, but I saw something similar and thought I can make that using old belt, bootlaces, and
dun, dun, dun.
zip ties. This is on my commuter city bike. Well, there you go. I mean, that does look super neat, doesn't it? I find U-locks or D-locks some of the noisiest things on the planet. Like, they just rattle, don't they? No matter where you put them, unless it's in your bag, they just make an absolute racket on your town bike. Whereas that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like I mean, I personally was just bungee cord it to the top, but
do you not find that rattles when you go over bumps and do jumps and stuff?
If you double wrap the bungee, so it's a bit cushiony.
All right.
Just do a little double wrap, long bungee.
That's a hack.
Yeah.
That is a hack.
There's a lot you can do with a bungee, and my son knows it as well. Seeing as they've been banned from the house. The less than that, the better. They're like a lasso.
Well, to be fair, they're pretty dangerous things, aren't they? Do you remember that guy that came onto the GCN show that had banned his delivery riders from wearing helmets because he said that bungees were more dangerous? And I mean, he's got a point. Bungees are flipping dangerous. Yeah. Anyway, 75% of you lot said that was a hack. Of course, I kind of can't because it uses zip ties.
I'd give it a hack. I'm a neutral party, so I think it's an overall good hack.
If you can work out a way of dispensing with the zip ties, I'll give it a hack. If you want to submit a hack or a bodge to GCN, of course, just upload it to the GCN app, where you can vote on loads of others because we can only show a fraction of the amazing things that you guys send in. So yeah, head over to the GCN app to have a look at a few more. And then also next week's are already up there for you to vote on.
And now it's time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts now, and following on from our video about heart health at the weekend, where we asked if it was possible to do yourself harm by doing too much cycling. Yet another piece of research was published in the last week or so, this time in the Journal of Preventative Cardiology, which shows the immense benefits of exercise in general.
The take home is that people with high blood pressure should increase their fitness levels, and that low fitness levels generally contribute to a 74% increase likelihood cardiovascular death.
That's quite a stat, isn't it?
That's quite a lot.
74%. So if you ever need an excuse to get a ride in, remember that I need to go out to lower my risk of cardiovascular death is an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, I'll use that excuse next time.
Yeah.
Now, last week we mentioned a racer in Belgium winning free fuel for a year. Last week, Wout van Aert won €3,000 of bathroom accessories from right in front of Van der Poel and Pogacar's noses.
That's right. Yeah, he also got a giant rubber duck for his troubles as well. Can I say, by the way, so Wout van Aert did not win Ghent-Wevelgem. He gifted it to his teammate Christophe Laporte. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a sore point for Silas.
Well,
I think Wout van Aert wins enough. And he needs a bit of team spirit behind him for Flanders. So it was a little token.
It was a beautiful gesture. But Christophe Laporte also wins quite a bit. And will Christophe Laporte ever feel like he's truly won Ghent-Wevelgem? Because Wout van Aert went, there you go, mate. I won't drop you. I'll give it to you. I don't know. And maybe Wout van Aert, maybe when he's 50, will be like, I wish I'd won 2 Ghent-Wevelgems instead of just the one. I don't know. And also, from a fan's perspective, you're like, oh, this is great. I kind of want to see a bit of fight. Like the SD Works duo at Strada Bianca that had basically a full-on fight after they sprinted to the line. That's the kind of guts I want to see.
I mean, personally, I think you should sprint no matter what. I think you should go for it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would gift it. Unless it's a real, poignant reason.
Yeah. Anyway, who are we to say?
We digress.
Yeah, we digress. But let us know what you think in the comment section. Some tech news for you now. And although technically this is mountain biking, we think you should bear with us, right? So SRAM have just launched new Eagle Access for mountain bikes. And they've just killed the derailleur hanger, basically, haven't they?
Yeah, which is not something many of us will mourn.
No.
But according to the mountain bikers who've ridden it, it's something that is a bit of a game changer in shifting performance.
That's right. So the reality of it is, apparently, by cutting out the hanger, you can make the derailleur way, way stiffer for better shifting. And it also improves the ease of setup and maintenance and improves the shifting as well. What's interesting too is that the cassette is different because it has narrow, wide teeth on, apparently. Now, I found one of GMBN's mountain bikes just littering up the hallway. So I did check. It's not obviously a narrow, wide cassette, so I don't really know what that's about. But anyway, according to them, it makes the shifting under load totally bomb-proof and super smooth.
Okay. So, all of that is tech that us road and gravel riders don't have, nor can we have at the moment either. To fit that front mech.
Rear mech.
Sorry, I was thinking of coming on for something else.
Front mech's died about 10 years ago on mountain bikes, mate.
To fit that mech, you need a frame built specifically for it, as most new mountain bikes are, but as far as we know, only a couple of gravel bikes are now.
No, that's right. Like the Envy Mog, which, if you remember, is not actually built for riding, but for mogging. For mogging about. Yeah, you're looking blankly. This
was gone over my head.
So the bike is called a Mog, right? The Envy Mog. And in their marketing guff, they basically said that Mog wasn't just a name of a bike, it was also a verb. So actually you could go out and mog.
Mogging.
You could go mogging on your bike, yeah.
Oh,
which I kind of felt I was a bit uncomfortable with it. It's not a nice word, is it, mog?
Sounds like something a cat would do.
Well, I mean, a cat is a mog, isn't it?
Yeah, mogging about.
Anyway, there we go. We digress. A couple of other bits of cycling industry news. Time Bicycles, which I think actually are pronounced team, aren't they? Anyway, once a powerhouse in the World Tour under Team Quickstep, most recently, are quietly staging a bit of a resurgence. And as part of that, their new owners are building a 140,000 square foot carbon fiber manufacturing facility in South Carolina.
They join a growing number of US-based brands making carbon fibre bikes and parts on US soil. But the news comes at the same time as another US manufacturing-based brand, Kitsbow, are having to shut up shop.
That's right. So Kitsbow have been making super cool, high-end clothes in North Carolina for a little while, but apparently they haven't been able to raise enough capital to keep going. And it's got to be said, it does sound like it's a really tough time to be a clothing brand in particular at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And distributors too. A stalwart of the UK bike industry, more large, have had to close their Outdoors and their administrators have taken the decision to simply auction off the stock, any unsold stock which they may have got lying around, which means that 35,000 bikes are going to be going to the highest bidder.
Yeah, which is probably not going to be that high at all, although Conor has been checking, haven't you?
I was keeping an eye on it.
And it's more than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, there's still some bargains there though. Still some bargains worth keeping your eye on.
And technically, I think anyone can bid, right?
Yeah, anyone can bid. So it's a free-for-all. Get in there.
It is a free-for-all, which presumably is going to absolutely cut the bottom out of UK bike shops. Because if everyone can suddenly go direct to some random online auction and get them at less than cost price to a distributor, I don't know. Doesn't sound like it's going to be very pretty.
No, it's not the best ingredients, is it? For
Not really. So hopefully, bike shops will come out of this one. Well, okay, really. But anyway, there we go. Now, the list of racing that you can watch on GCN Plus gets ever longer at the moment. New on the app is the mountain bike racing shelf. Okay, you'll be able to watch action. I say will be able to. You can watch action, from the Enduro World Cup currently, but the announcement went out last week that you'll also be able to watch the newly formed National Cycling League races as well.
This is a new venture in the US and a welcome addition to the crit scene over there. I'm really excited about this one. It all kicks off in Miami Beach in Florida on the 8th of April.
Yeah, which is also Paris-Roubaix weekend, just if you like a bit of contrast in your bike racing. The grit of northern France versus the shine and bling of Florida. Anyway, some news also now from the Global Bike Festival. And not only do you get us lot, high fives, and Mark Beaumont, but we're also going to be joined by another name, not quite exciting, but it's Jens Voigt, isn't it?
That is awesome, isn't it? What an absolute legend of the sport. And if you want to join us all, remember it's in Austria from the 15th to the 18th of June. To get all the lowdown, head over to globalbikefestival.com.
What do you think he does now when you shout "shut up legs"?
I reckon it's just the same.
I'm
slightly nervous about doing a group ride with him in case he tells us all to put the hammer down and we can't have any choice. Shut up, legs! So we're not just pinning it through the Austrian valleys.
You know, one thing that we can't do is mention the time when me and Dan beat him in a Zwift race, because he has not forgiven us.
Oh, really? I'll remember that one then.
Yeah, no, don't. Honestly, you mustn't. We spoke to him 3 years after we beat him in a Zwift race. This was right back in Zwift's earliest days, okay, when it was still in beta, I think. And we had a race against Jens Vogt, and me and Lloydie did the old 1-2. And Jens, 3 years later, was still really bitter.
Really?
Yeah, so all that kind of shut up legs, actually, he's a competitive animal, and he wants to kill me and Dan.
Okay, well that should make it interesting at the Global Bike Festival. So
come and join us if you want to see Jens Vogt having a pop at me and Dan.
Caption competition time now. Sorry, I've been thinking off camera of a caption and I'm racking my brains. But if you get a better one than me, then you do get a GCN Elite water bottle. You can touch us in comments and we'll get it sent over to you.
That's right. First of all, though, we will go for the results of last week, where we gave you this photo of the uncomfortable silence on the sofa that was behind the podium celebrations at Milan-San Remo, where you have three of the greatest cyclists on the planet all sitting in uncomfortable silence. Anyway, Al Lee, congratulations, you are the winner. Get in touch and you get a GCN Elite water bottle sent over to you. This was his caption: by reducing unnecessary frame material, the 2023 Milan-San Remo couch saves 15 watts at 45k an hour, according to the manufacturers. I like that. I thought that was really good. Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah, very good indeed. And also, we're none the wiser, are we, about what Van der Poel and Ganna said to each other after Van Aert left the room?
I'm no body language expert, but it doesn't look promising there, does it?
Orcs. Right then.
Awkward turtle.
What's the turtle got to do with it?
It's like awkward turtle. God, people have heard of the awkward turtle. There'll be someone on it. Yeah. See, Isaac knows it.
I haven't heard of the awkward turtle. What's this? Do you want to tell me off camera? Is it?
So it's just if something awkward happens, then you just break the ice by going awkward turtle.
Well, there we go. I did not know that. Right. Oh, now I feel like we need an awkward turtle. Can you just do another one?
Awkward turtle.
Okay, right, moving on then. This is your photo to get stuck into this week. It's Wout van Aert with his giant rubber duck. Conor, you have had plenty of time now, plus a couple of awkward turtle moments. So, do you want to go for it, dude?
I just feel like there's a real cracker in this one. There's an absolute corker, and someone in the GCN audience is going to get it, and it's not going to be me.
No.
And it's so frustrating.
They're a smart bunch out there,
They're so
Conor.
smart.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Wout van Aert decides to build a... Wout van Aert builds a duck pond. I feel like a bit giddy.
Awkward turtle. Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair old effort, Conor. Could be something about not wanting to give away E3 because of the prize at stake. Yeah. I don't know. Something along those lines. You lot get stuck in the comments section down below, and we will pick a winner next week. That will undoubtedly be witty and sharp and...
Got one.
Go on.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is genius. Absolute genius. Wout van Aert, 1E3. Wout van Aert, 1E3 by riding like the Quackers.
Cut.
That was brilliant.
Just cut there.
I
Just
get
cut
through
it.
the bottle.
Cut it there. Right, comment of the week now, that part of the show where we pull out some of your finest comments you've been leaving under GCN videos for the previous 7 days, and sometimes beyond that as well. We don't like to limit our scope too much. Under last week's show, we said it's quite a contentious issue, bike helmets. Oh my word, we had nearly 2,000 comments.
That's
under
a
the
lot.
show. Yeah, a lot of people saying how their bike helmets have saved their life or saved their friends' lives or saved the lives of someone that they saw lying at the roadside. And then a lot of other people responding that no, it's not about that, it's about infrastructure. So clearly we still haven't worked it out. But anyway, it was civil, which was great. And that was the whole point, was that we shouldn't get angry about what other people are doing. So that was super cool. Anyway, Bry Guy said, as far as Simon's question, yes, live and let live. If you get angry about someone living their life differently, the only thing that will happen is that you will get upset. That's actually, like, that's true, isn't it, really? When you think about it, like, kind of, yeah.
Good point.
Good point.
Yeah.
Well made, Bry.
Bill McCaffrey sent this one in. I had a friend that refused to wear a helmet until he saw an accident in front of him where the helmet was split down the middle and the rider was able to get right back on the bike. We were on fast single track. I was the rider, went straight to a bike shop where we both got new helmets.
Well, I'm glad you're all right, Bill. I'm glad your helmet saved your life. And I'm glad your mate has got one as well. So that is cool. Yeah. Fair news to you. Right then, under the video that went out where we tried to climb at Tour de France speeds with... It was tough, wasn't it? Andrew Feather made us look like idiots, didn't he?
He's incredible.
He is. Morgan D said, Hank getting binned in the run-in is a victory for regular cyclists. Poor old Hank, he wasn't very happy about that,
Was he?
No. And then Sean McNally, what's the most impressive thing is that Sepp Kuss set the KOM record on outdoors on the 12th day of the Tour de France and having raced about 150k just before the climb.
That's what's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had a bit more left in the tank for
Doing
that.
that under fatigue. Burton Homan, I really hope they add this as a permanent pacer to Zwift. That'd be cool to try at Tour de France paces, if only for about 20 seconds. I think they should. I think it'd be cool to add that in.
Yeah, presumably they could as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Go for it, Zwift.
Yeah, do it.
Have a rowboat. Have just like, that doesn't even have to be just out the Zwift, does it? It could be like, you could do lead outs.
Yeah.
You could be like jump on a Mark Cavendish lead out
That
train.
would be cool, yeah.
At like, what would that be? 15 watts per kilo or something?
Yeah, that'd be mental.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
And it's optional that it's some big sprinter is supplied for your shed in Melbourne as you're doing it.
Anyway, we digress. Right, under, can a gravel bike survive a 4x4 course? John Smith likes bikes. This amused me very much. Quite surprised the Defender didn't break down. Land Rover dealers often give you a free puppy when you buy one because they feel it's nice company for when you have to walk home. I didn't know that was a thing. Anyway, there we go.
Felix Hartramp, the Land Rover is not driven by Hank's dad. My disappointment is immeasurable.
Yeah, poor old Hank's dad was not terribly well for that one. So get well soon, Hank's dad. but he'll be back on your screens before too long, hopefully.
He'll be back.
Yeah, Alex said, how much more abuse can you put Hank through? Quite a lot, I suspect.
Yeah, I mean, it's endless, limitless.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly felt really sorry for him at the end of that day because he was basically hypothermic, but 30 minutes in a hot bath and he was bouncing around like the spaniel that he is. Alex also goes on to say, great to showcase how capable mid-level bikes and group sets are. 10-speed mechanical for the win!
There we go.
It's pretty cool, that.
Plenty of comments under, is cycling and is too much cycling bad for your health? This was sent in by Fraser Goodwin. Great content, and if Mark isn't doing himself heart harm via exercise, then we can all worry far less about our own effort. It's good to have a more rounded idea of health too than just cardiac functionality. Skeletal, muscular health, mental health, etc.
Yeah, very true, yeah. I was relieved when Mark got his results, because I honestly thought,
Yeah, it's true, yeah. If anyone's got damage to their heart, Mark.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But there we go. So
jump on the bike.
And it's not to say, obviously, that means that everyone is going to be in exactly the same boat, because there are so many more nuanced things. And as we said in the video, if you have any kind of symptoms, then get it checked out. The sooner the better as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Right then, what is coming up on GCN this week, Conor?
Well, on Wednesday, how to choose your first road bike.
Yes, that's right. Manon takes you through that one.
Yeah, and then on Thursday, how to average 30 kilometres an hour.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So yeah, bit of advice on how to be efficient on the bike.
Buy aero socks as well.
Yeah, that's it. That is true. Don't be 6'8", like me.
Cool. And then Saturday, I'm super excited about this. Mountain bike versus gravel. So Manon went to one of our favourite races.
Oh, so cool.
Battle on the Beach, which is as it sounds, a beach race where no one knows whether a mountain bike or a gravel bike is the fastest one. So Manon went head to head against Anna from GmbN, and that's super cool. So I cannot wait to see what happens. And then on Sunday, Alex has been hunting with the twig. So Andrew Feather is back on the YouTubes doing what he does best. Riding uphill exceedingly quickly. Is your laptop all right? I think it's about to take off.
It does this periodically. It gives me very warm legs. Is that a bad thing?
Don't know.
Might be a bad thing.
Okay, we probably better wrap things up there then before something happens. Right, Conor, where is your Tour of Flanders t-shirt? That
I'm wearing it. Hold on. Hopefully you don't see more than you bargained for. There we go.
There we go. Conor has been wearing, I don't know whether you've noticed, one of our new t-shirt designs, which is super cool, isn't it?
That's cracker, that one. I love it.
Yeah, so we've got a load that you've seen at the moment. Dan's been wearing them. I haven't been allowed any, and now Dan is away for the week. Conor appears to be given it, even though it's clearly my size, not yours, but I still haven't been given one.
Well, I'll wear this on Sunday.
Yeah,
get them spirit of things.
Absolutely should. As it needs saying, Tour of Flanders is on Sunday. Men's and women's races are going to be both live on GCN Plus, and it's one of the greatest days in the cycling calendar.
It is the day, best day of the year.
Yeah. Our preview show will be coming out this week as well over on GCN Racing, so head over to that. But of course, all the action will be there for you on GCN Plus. Territory restrictions do apply, but go check it out and see whether or not you can watch it with us on GCN Plus.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
It is going to be good. Proper excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said at the beginning of the show, like, this is basically the best racing has been for decades, if not ever.
Yeah.
But we're not old enough to make that call quite.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Right, anyway, I think that's probably the end of the GCN show for this week, isn't it? We've rabbited on long enough. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, give it a big thumbs up if you have, and get involved in the comments section as well. That does look really nice, mate. Yeah. Shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com, if you didn't know.